Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. I'm really excited for today's video because I am going to be doing another houseplant tour. So today's video will be part one of my spring 2021 houseplant tour. I will be showing you all of the plants in my kitchen and living room. You can stay tuned next week to see all the plants I keep in my bedroom. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Okay, we are starting on my kitchen island as I normally do with these videos, and I have switched it up quite a bit since my last houseplant tour. Currently, I just have these flowers here. They were a gift from Jessie for my birthday last week. And then I have this Scindapsus trubii Moonlight that I got from King Supers. I actually have two of these. I'll show you my other one in just a second. And then over here on my kitchen counter next to my sink, I have my other Scindapsus Moonlight, and I do switch them out every week so that they can take turns on getting the proper amount of sunlight. And then I have my little kitchen terrarium. I have some Hoya cuttings in this little jar here, and I think they're actually ready to go in some soil. So I'll probably pot those up sometime this week now that it's warm. And I have my Peperomia prostrata, or string of turtles. This one, I actually don't know what this one is. It's some kind of snake plant. I got this one at Target a long time ago. It was really sad and I feel like I rescued it. And then this one is a Sansevieria fernwood that I got at a little kiosk at the mall a couple of years ago. And in my terrarium, I have a lot. I probably won't say what each and every one is, but I have a few different peperomias in there. Moved my Hoya obovata picta in there, the one with the variegation. Some vanilla planifolia cuttings, and some pennywort and whatnot. And right here is where I put cuttings to dry until I'm ready to propagate them. I think I'll be propagating these very soon though. I'm gonna make a little makeshift terrarium for them out of an old cookie container. We are now looking at the top of my kitchen cabinets. I'm actually standing on a kitchen stool for you guys, so I hope you appreciate me. But here is some Algerian ivy. I've had this one for a while now. It's gone through spider mites and thrips, and it's still surviving. This one is an Aglaonema. I do not know the kind. I think it's really pretty though. It has like some pink and red on there. And here is my domino peace lily. It's not looking too hot. This plant really hates me, and to be honest, I kind of just threw it up here because I'm waiting for it to die. That sounds awful, but I know that we all have a few plants like that, so don't judge me. This next one is another little Aglaonema. Again, I do not know the kind. I rescued it from the clearance section at a nursery. And yet another Aglaonema. And then that last one over there is a ZZ plant that Jessie brought home from me from Target, and it was very unhappy and dying, and it's now putting out a ton of new growth, which is really exciting. That was my first ZZ plant ever. And I know I'm gonna get off this stool before I fall. Okay, I have this little side table next to my couch, and these are some plants that also appreciate low light. So down here I have my Peperomia polybatria, or the raindrop peperomia. This is the one I got from either Home Depot or Lowe's. It was in my big box store plant haul. And then on the table I have my Raven ZZ that I got from King Supers a while back. And all of the green is new growth. It will turn darker as time goes by. This one is some type of snake plant. It is Sansevieria trifasciata, I believe. I'm not sure. Snake plants kind of look the same to me. And before you guys come at me for still calling them sansevierias, I know they are technically dracaenas, but I'm so used to saying sansevieria, I'm still gonna call them that. This one is a little maranta. This is my only maranta, and it's in some leca. I don't think it's thriving, but it is still alive, and it is putting out new growth still. I have some fake ivy on this little partition thing here, and then hanging I have my jade satin scindapsus. Some people call it a jade satin pothos. It is technically a scindapsus, however, and it's a very, very slow grower. Now we're looking at my coffee table plant. Currently, I do switch it up pretty often, but right now I have my jewel orchid here, and I got this one 2 Valentine's Days ago, and it's not super pretty, but it is doing really well. It's putting out a ton of new growth. I have chopped this thing up like crazy in order to propagate, and I actually stuck a bunch of the cuttings back in here. And then on the lower level down here, I just have a couple plants. So I have this starfish sansevieria, and then on this side I have a silvery Ann scindapsus, which it's not doing too hot right now, but I've kind of been ignoring it, sadly. It is still growing though. And then I have a Peperomia cubensis. This is another one that I propagated like crazy recently, and this is one of the only peperomias that I do really well with. It grows so quickly and it's so easy to propagate. I love it. It's super cute. We are looking at the shelves on top of my TV area, and we will start right down here. I have some cuttings from my Scindapsus Moonlight. I was thinking about selling this one, but I'm not really sure. I kind of got attached to it, so it's just hanging out for now. And then this next one is a Pearls and Jade Pothos. I got that one at Home Depot a couple years ago. It's a really slow grower, but I think it's pretty cute. This is a Hoya obovata cutting and some leca. And this next one is a Hoya carnosa splash. This one is some type of Rhipsalis. It might be Rhipsalis pilocarpa. I can't remember which one. And then this is my Hoya Wayettii. I don't do too well with Wayettii for whatever reason. I've killed like 4 of them at this point, but so far this one's doing okay. And then up here I have a Cebu Blue Pothos. This one I created entirely of cuttings from my old one that I killed. And then I have a little Hoya Chelsea cutting and some leca. This one is a Pothos Enjoy. Looks very similar to the Pearls and Jade, but it has a lot less speckling and a lot more white around the edges. This is also a very slow grower. I've had it for like 2 or 3 years, and this is all it's grown for me. This one is a Hoya Crinkle 8. I have so many of these. This is some type of little Syngonium or arrowhead plant. I don't know the variety. And then in this little apricot mug, I have another Syngonium. This one, I think, is a pink confetti, although I'm not really sure. And then this one is my Dieffenbachia Camille. It is a dwarf Dieffenbachia, so it will stay pretty small. I did propagate it in order to get a fuller pot. And then hanging up right here, I have a couple of air plants. I don't know the type. I'm not too great with air plants, but luckily I've been able to keep these two alive for a couple years. And then since it's in camera already, you can kind of see I have a Hoya pubicalyx splash hanging up, and it's really cool. It kind of tendrils all over the place. I have this little plant corner next to my TV stand, and here I have a Scindapsus pictus exotica. I've had this one for a really long time. I have several of these plants, and this was one of my first ones in this apartment. Here is my bird of paradise that I rescued from Lowe's, and as you can see, it's pretty beat up, but it is doing better. This is a new leaf about to come out, and all of its new growth is pretty healthy. Here is my Monstera deliciosa. This was a replacement for the one that sadly I mistreated last summer, but Jessie got me this one for Valentine's Day this year, and it's doing really, really well. Has a lot of new leaves coming in. And I got this big basket for it at TJ Maxx, in case you guys are wondering. And then down here is what is left of my last Monstera. Poor thing. It is still hanging on for dear life, and hopefully I can nurse it back to health. But sadly, I did have to chop most of the plant up because I had a really bad case of thrips on it, and I put neem oil on it. I put it outside. I kind of forgot about it, and most of the plant died because I sunburnt it. I think we'll do something different, and we'll kind of work our way up the shelf instead of down this time. So down here I have another little terrarium, and in this one I have a ton of succulents. This one does not stay as humid as a couple of my other terrariums because it has this big hole in it. Oop, I accidentally turned it off. This is an old shrimp tank of mine that I then turned into a little greenhouse. And then right in the middle, I have a huge kalanchoe, but I got this one at Home Depot a few days ago. I have this weird need to like rehabilitate sick plants, but it does seem to be doing better, like already just within like a couple weeks. Yeah, I have a few begonias in here. This is pretty much just like my rehab tank. I kind of put anything in here that just needs some extra TLC, and so far they're all doing great. Right here next to that, I have my philodendron cellulum, or philodendron hope. And I know that technically this one is no longer considered a philodendron, however, I'm still gonna call it that. This one is my begonia breakdance. I was trying to propagate this one a little bit. I bought this one as an outdoor plant last summer, and this is what's left of it. I can't wait to put it back outside in the springtime so it can thrive. On the ground in between my little bookshelves, I have a Monstera adansonii. This is one that I bought purely to propagate, and so I fully chopped it all the way down last summer, and this is all new growth. I don't know what kind of succulents these are. I do know that I am killing them. However, I've had these guys for over a year now. I bought them last summer to go on my balcony, and somehow I've kept them alive all winter. I really hope they can hang on a few more weeks because then they can go back out in the sun. And this one is my philodendron Xanadu. It's looking really sad right now. This is another one that I did chop down to the soil last summer, and It's not doing too hot. It's got a bunch of pieces dying here. It has some fertilizer burn. I accidentally put a little too much fertilizer in its water last time. Poor thing. But I do think it's gonna make a recovery. It is still growing. Here I have a little burgundy ficus, a little rubber tree, and not much to say about that one. It's just happy to be here. Back there I have a Sansevieria zeylanica. This is one of my very first house plants of my current collection. And this was given to me by a family friend a few years ago. It just recently put out 2 new leaves. It used to only be 2 leaves. But I'm very, very happy it's finally growing for me. Okay, we are moving up a shelf. So on this shelf, I have a ton of propagation. So I have just some random exotica leaves shoved in here. Some jewel orchid. That one is all full of exotica cuttings. I think these are all ready to be planted, actually. And then this one is a Kalanchoe humilis. It's kind of looking sad right now because I just repotted it and I think it went into shock a little bit, but it'll be happy pretty soon once I can put it outside. That's kind of the general message for all of my succulents right now, like just hang on, it'll be okay. Here is my Phalaenopsis orchid that I got on clearance at Home Depot a few years ago. And I kind of treat this one like an air plant, and that seems to work really well for me. Back there I have a little Peperomia piccolobanda. And then this is some type of Begonia Rex. I don't know the kind. It's one that I picked up at Home Depot a couple years ago. And it's really happy. One of the first begonias I've actually been able to keep alive. Here I have a Hoya obovata Splash. This one was a lot bigger, but I did chop it quite a bit to propagate, and I put it in this smaller 4-inch pot. And then here is my neon philodendron. Some people call this one a lemon lime, but it is a trailing heartleaf philodendron. Here is a jade pothos. This is just a little clipping of one of my first plants from this apartment. I had killed the rest of the plant. Finally putting out another leaf. Good job. Here is my Hoya diatura. I got this one last summer from an Etsy seller, and it hasn't grown at all, but it is alive, which is great. It's got some healthy roots down in there. And then here is my Hoya Mathilde. This leaf is new. I'm happy about that. Super cute. And then this one is another little Syngonium. I think it's a strawberries and cream. Here is another Hoya pubicalix Splash. I don't know, how do you guys say it? Do you say pubicalix or pubicalix or something else? I can't decide which way I want to say it, so I kind of switch it up a little bit. Here I have a Dischidia or Dischidia Jerry. I think some people also call this one a green cascade. It's got some new leaves right here. There is a philodendron lemon lime. This is the non-trailing one, and I think it'll get quite a bit larger. And here is one of my favorite plants. This is my Hoya obovata Splash. I was propagating this one a lot, and I got really tired of cutting it up. So now it just gets to exist, and I promised it I will never cut it again. And then here I have some type of Tradescantia. I don't know the exact type. This is one of my oldest plants, And it used to be a lot larger than this. Over the years, it has been dying, and I've been trying to propagate it, but it is still alive, so that's something. Okay, on this shelf, I have a Hoya Chelsea cutting back there, and then another Hoya Chelsea. I recently repotted this one, so it's kind of throwing a temper tantrum right now. Back there I have some more Hoya Chelsea cuttings. And then this little propagation station I got at TJ Maxx. I have a bunch of random things in here. I have some ZZ. This is a Hoya Obscura, Hoya Crinkle 8. Got a few pieces of Peperomia Hope. Here is some type of holiday cactus. And then I forgot to mention this one, but this one is Hoya Australis Lisa. Just a little cutting and some leca. And this is another Hoya Chelsea. Here are some pressed columbines that Ashlyn gave me. So pretty. And then up on this top shelf, I have my philodendron micans. I had purchased 2 to combine into one big pot, and that's what I did. And it's doing really well. Back there, I have another exotica. It's in this cute little basket that I got at the dollar section at Target. I painted this little lemon pot. Just wanted to shout that out because I think it's really cute. And then in this lemon pot, I have another Hoya Crinkle 8. We are moving on to this other bookshelf, and so the first one here is my philodendron Congo. It actually popped this leaf out overnight because I just watered it yesterday and this leaf was still tucked up, but it decided to open for you guys. There is another Syngonium. This one is a white butterfly arrowhead plant. Here is a little succulent. There's the name of it. There's my big Monstera Adansonii, and again, this is one that I had to chop. That's all new growth though, so I'm really excited to see it push out new growth over the summertime. Here is another little Cebu Blue pothos, and yet another exotica. These are a few of my oldest cacti. That back one is a fairy tale castle. I don't know what that one is, and I don't know what that one is either, but my friend Michaela got me that one for my birthday a couple years ago. And this one I think is one of my oldest cacti. I got this one with Jesse when we first started dating, like 5 years ago. And there's some type of Ripsalis here. I think it's Ripsalis pachytera. Here is aloe vera. This one is my Thanksgiving cactus. It got really confused and it decided to bloom a few weeks ago. You're not an Easter cactus, buddy. This one is an Easter cactus, and this one has not bloomed for me. It is growing like crazy though. And then another little Easter cactus. This one is a different type. One will have different flowers if it decides to bloom for me. On this shelf, I have a little fake hanging succulent back there, and then some bamboo. Technically a Dracaena, but I keep it in water with some pebbles. Here is my Hoya carrii quilt leaf plant, and it's just in some leca. Another little Crinkle 8, this one is in leca. And here is my Pilea peperomioides, or pancake plant, or friendship plant, however you want to call it. I spy a dead leaf back here. I don't know where this came from. This is like a Hoya carnosa leaf. And there's not even one over here. Interesting. Anyway, here's my philodendron scandens, or just my heartleaf philodendron. I have some propagations back here. This is Peperomia tetragona, some type of pickle plant succulent, and a tricolor tridescantia. And this one is Hoya dolica sparta. I think I'm saying that right. I need to move this one to soil again soon. And then here is my fern leaf cactus and another Thanksgiving cactus. I bought this one thinking originally it was a Christmas cactus because I don't know if you can see, some of the leaves are a lot rounder, but I believe it is just a Thanksgiving cactus. Here is a little kalanchoe. This one is Kalanchoe silver spoons. The scientific name is Kalanchoe hildebrantii. Could be saying that wrong. This one is Haworthia cooperi. Pretty cute. It's putting out a little baby right here. Here is Kalanchoe luciae, and that's a flapjack kalanchoe. Mine is trying to get more sunlight, so it's kind of turned inside out. Probably my most expensive plant, I have my Hoya polyneura. It's not grown at all since I got it, and that's okay. I really hope that it does soon, but it's just in Lecca right now. And then here is my Hoya sunrise. This one also hasn't grown a lot, but I got it and it did not have any roots, and now it does, so I think it's gonna grow for me pretty soon, hopefully. And then here is Hoya serpens. There are probably like 5 or 6 cuttings in here rooting in Lecca, and I'll show you the mother plant in just a second. And then here is my rick-rack cactus. As you can probably tell, I went through a phase of wanting to collect a ton of jungle cacti. So I have a few different types. I still need a Christmas cactus though, and then I really want a curly orchid cactus. Over here I have a zebra haworthia. This one just keeps getting taller and taller. I have it staked up there because sometimes it'll lean if I don't. And then I have a bunch of Kalanchoe mother of thousands babies. The full mother plant did die, but it left behind so many babies I can't even count them. I have more I'll show you in a minute too, but they're really cool. They grow on the leaves of the mother plant and they just kind of fall off everywhere. They landed in a ton of my other plants, so periodically you'll just see them randomly. This one is another Kalanchoe. I forget what this one's called. Okay, so this one is Kalanchoe Petra Sunfire. Got that one at Home Depot, I believe. And then I don't know what kind of cactus this is. Jessie got it for me. And then dragon fruit cactus. Here is my Hoya serpens. This is the mother plant. I have propagated this one so many times and it keeps growing. It's super happy. Probably one of my favorite plants in my entire collection. I love it to death. Oh my goodness. And then right next to that, I have my Ceropegia woodii string of spades. So this is a lot like string of hearts, except the leaves are a lot pointier and there isn't variegation. I need to propagate this one because it keeps getting longer and longer. And then I have some orchid cactus back here chilling in water, trying to root. There are actually some roots showing up. I don't know if the camera is going to focus, but there are some little roots poking through there. Here is my Euphorbia trigona. This one is supposed to be red, but it doesn't have a lot of light right now, so it's turned green. And then this one is Adramyces key lime pie. Here are some more mother of thousands babies I said I was going to show you. And then a string of bananas. I can't keep string of pearls alive, but I have managed to keep this one alive for a couple of years. And then this is a little succulent that we got at Walmart after Valentine's Day on clearance, and I don't know what kind it is. I know it's an Adramyces, I just do not know the exact variety, but it is really pretty. I love all the little speckles. And I have a bunch of my cacti on this shelf. So back there I have my Opuntia Santa Rita. And that one turns bright purple in the sunlight. It's super pretty. Again, right now it's green because it's not getting a ton of light, but that's okay. And then I have two little cacti back there. One is a spiral cactus, and then the other is some type of devil's tongue. And some more aloe vera. This one is a Mammillaria elegans. I only know that because it has that tag right there, but I got this one because I thought it looked kind of fuzzy. Those are all really sharp spikes though. I don't know what kind of cactus this is. He is one that I rescued from Target clearance section a few years ago. And I believe this one is related. It's very similar in appearance. I also don't know what this one is. If you can't tell, I'm not great at identifying cacti or succulents, but I do love them. I think they're really cute. This is some type of succulent that I recently got from Target. It was the only one that wasn't fully dead, and I bought it in the hopes that I can rehabilitate it and kind of bring some life back to it. And then here is a domino cactus. I got it last summer and it was super round and cute, and the lack of light over this Colorado winter has really stretched it out, but I still love it. And then don't hate me for what I call this one, but this one is a booby cactus, and if you don't believe me, you can look it up. That's really what the nickname is. I don't know the scientific name, but that is why I got it. I really liked the nickname. We're almost at the end of the living room tour, you guys. The next two shelves are all succulents and cacti. They're all plants that I keep outside during the summer, and right now they're just kind of hanging out until the weather reaches 50 degrees and up overnight. This one is a prickly pear cactus that I got from Walmart, of all places, a few years ago. It was one of my first cacti. This one is some type of Rhipsalis. I don't know the exact variety of this one, but it seems very hardy. Here I have a little blue old man cactus. I don't know the scientific name. This one is sun bleached, poor thing, but it's still hanging in there. And then here is my Adramyces calico hearts. This one is some type of crassula. I think this one is a silver dollar jade. I don't know what type of cactus this one is. This one is some type of gasteria. Here is Kalanchoe blossfeldiana. This is one that my friend Ashlyn gave me a couple summers ago, and it's really making a comeback. This one was sold to me as Kalanchoe pink butterfly, but I really do not think that's correct. I do know it is some type of Kalanchoe, however. And then this one is a Kalanchoe melotii. And this is my last shelf of plants in the living room. I normally keep this little plant light on these guys because they are little crybabies if I don't. Back there is a Kalanchoe tomentosa or panda plant. It's super exfoliated. It needs more light. Next to that is another Kalanchoe. That one is Kalanchoe bahardii. This one is pretty much dead, but it's still alive. It's some type of cotyledon. I think it's cotyledon mint truffles. Here is a little jade, and this one is a prickly pear cactus. I actually rooted that one myself. Next to that I have a cucumber plant, little succulent. Some people call it a pickle plant, some people call it a cucumber plant. Either way, super cute, and it's really fuzzy. There is my watch chain succulent. It's a crassula. Another little jade, different kind. And then I have two different sedums here. This one is a salsa sedum. And this one I think is crocodile something or other. Yeah, Cremnosedum crocodile. Cute. This one is Kalanchoe marnieriana. I don't know how to say that, but that's what it is. And then this one is a Haworthia, I believe. Haworthia tessellata. This one is a little crassula variegata. And then this last one here is crassula baby buttons. Adorable. I got most of these little guys from Lowe's or Home Depot. So that is everything for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed making it. Don't forget to tune in next week to see all the plants I keep in my bedroom. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!